So, Miguel, you have recently written an article in your blog, yolocalizo.com, about the need for cultural LLMs. What motivated you to write it?
I've been always interested about the culture from two angles, the culture when you are managing teams and the culture as a culture. And 7 years ago, and this is what I mentioned in the article, when I presented with Maria Kania in Logwell, we were super interested in the topic of cultural intelligence, and that's a topic that I've been always interested. So the work of cultural intelligence, David Moore, Erin Meyer, Culture Map, and Dimoleski, Global Dexterity, because I think that's important when you are leading teams, which is what we do in this industry, that you might have people from very different nationalities, and you do need to understand those components that they explain in the book to be effective. But that's very related to the what we do in localization. If you just think about localization as the message, you are making the AI multilingual, but not multicultural. And that's a huge difference because you can have the message that is okay, but we do know that the way that we express in Europe is going to be different in Asia. The way that you build trust in the States is going to be different from Brazil. Nothing of that is really considered in AI. We are just approaching this from the models that they tend to be based on US models, individualistic, assuming that that tone is going to work well everywhere. That's not the case. And that's what I was reflecting on when I was thinking about writing the article, because 7 years ago, obviously we did not have this thing of AI, but we had the thing of, from leadership perspective, one management style fits all, which is not true. And now we are doing the same, but with AI. So we are having the same kind of issue that I saw a few years ago, but now with the machines. People don't talk about this. We're just thinking, no, this is translated, but it could be perceived as unprofessional. So I want to reflect on that, and that was the main reason to write the article.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miguel. I love what you said about multilingual is not equal multicultural, right? Which seems super obvious when you say it, but people usually forget about that. And also, I wanted to ask because in the article you asked the question, how can machines work better across cultures? And I wanted to ask you, in your experience, where is AI falling short when it comes to cultural intelligence at the moment?
Well, it's that is not taking into account the different cultures, basically. So it's always based on direct individualistic communication, it's focused on efficiency, it's focused on low cultural variability. So basically, you are assuming that that model is working very well. But we know that there are some markets, Mexico, China, they are collectivistic. So if you are approaching your AI output with the, let's say, lens, the content is not going to be land well in some countries where they value harmony instead of individuals' achievements. Also, there are many of these AI models that they are just based on low context, but then we have markets that they are very high context. Japan is super important what is said and what is not said. And this is not considered. So obviously, it's not doing a great job there. The formality, the emotional tone, I mean, all those things. Basically, what we are saying with that is one size fits all. That's it. In many markets, they are going to expect warm, friendly. In others, it might be more polite. You don't really have that. So that's definitely where I see that AI is not there yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And you made very good points because at the end of the day, the LLM learned from data that it's mainly created in the United States and in English. So
Mm,
obviously there is a bias towards that way of communicating, that way of thinking, and that
yeah.
shows when you're generated content with AI. So in your opinion, how should we build these cultural LLMs, or what should we do to counterbalance this bias?
The very first thing, awareness, which is what we are trying to do with this. So that's the very first step. then we need to bring cultural experts to the AI world, localization, globalization, people that they are really working with content and with people from different markets. And this is what we've been doing in our industry our whole life. So we are in a good position to position ourselves to curate the content in a way or review the content, because in the end, it's going to be a question of from design, of course, the training models, a lot of fine tuning with the tone calibration, cultural QA. Is what we did in our industry like many years ago with the LQA. You could do it now here with a kind of cultural QA, and you could have someone with those profiles that they are thinking AI is going to give you a translation. Fine, good. But then who is going to say, okay, does this tone feel respectful in Japan? Would a Mexican user trust this message? Is this response too cold or robotic for this audience? So localization professionals, they need to be there because it's the cultural experience, and you need to go like one by one. I mean, and that's why I believe that we would need to have different LLMs for different markets, somehow interconnected. But I guess that the fine tuning is necessary, and probably we don't really need to build like 200 models, but perhaps what we can do is to have some layers where basically we are improving, but it's starting from awareness and it's starting by having cultural experts in the loop, which is not happening as of today in most of the cases. So that's something that should be changed, in my opinion.
Great, Miguel. I think with this, there are many doors that can be open for technology providers, for LSPs, for translators, for cultural experts to really think together how we can solve this issue and make
Mhm.
LLMs more culturally aware. So hopefully this short video will inspire our community and we can keep the conversation going. Thank you so much, Miguel, and we'll see you soon.
My pleasure. Bye.